Evan Bouchard last night took a rough penalty, cross-checking up near the blue line. Didn't make any sense whatsoever in the context of the play. I like physical play, but like pick your spots a little better. Jay Woodcroft benched him afterwards because they got the game winner on that shortly after. What do you guys think about Evan Bouchard riding the pine in the third?
I didn't like it. Okay, so the penalty, bad penalty. Sure.
Awful penalty.
But if you want to start playing the game of you made a play that negatively impacted the game, Draisaitl's giveaway in the first horrendous. CC's register.
There is that game gets played with seniority.
Well, there's also like the giveaway by Draisaitl was bad, but he was the play by Bouchard was just dumb and completely avoidable.
So yeah, Leon was trying to make offensive plays. That stuff's going to happen. But
so did Bouchard get benched for the penalty or the Protas Dowd goal?
So when I watched the video,
is Jay Woodcroft in this podcast?
Twitter, it does not show the start of it. Like it looks like Bouchard's too far to the boards as opposed to the middle, because the whole sliding on his, the whole diving thing, I'm fine with. Like you're keeping the guy to his backhand at that point. Great. Actually, pretty clever on them to drop pass it, and he gets up, turns around, and the puck's being shot in the net. So at that point, I don't know what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But maybe there was a mistake at their blue line where, he was definitely seemed to be a little too far to the one side.
See, because that's actually almost the exact breakdown I gave on Oilersnation every day was the slide he made. He hustled back.
Yeah.
He was the only D-man back.
Yeah.
He can't see Dowd behind him. He slides, like you said. The only move Protas has at that point in Bouchard's mind is he can only go to his backhand. He's got a backhand or a flip into Skinner.
Yeah.
Barry didn't get back after Barry's the one who kicked the puck directly to the Capitals, which sparked the odd man rush the other way, and then Barry didn't get back to take the high guy. So it was weird to me that was Bouchard's last shift when like that goal was more of a Barry mistake than a Bouchard.
I want to go back a little bit further and see if he was out of position at first, so maybe that was the
And you're right, the penalty's dumb. You can't take that.
This is an awful penalty.
And he's done it before. He did it against, was that the Rangers or whatever?
That's my guess is probably why he got it.
Probably.
And he's in his, second year, whatever. You can do that to a guy in his second year. You can't do that to Leon. You can't do... CC, you're probably not going to do that to
I think
CC.
you could do it to Tyson Barrie, though.
That's fair.
I don't see why not. Why can't you?
Why?
Yeah.
You just...
I think if you're Woodcroft, you'd be worried about burning a bridge.
Yeah, you just can't do that. And I think if you were coach, I don't think you'd be able to... Like, some guys are almost untouchable in that type of... getting in that kind of trouble. Like you just can't.
If you were telling me that Ken Hitchcock wouldn't bench one of his star players if he was behind the bench.
There's a dude doing that stuff down in 3 hours south of us right now, and it's not going over so well. So I think there's just that.
That could be. So also what happened in Vancouver just the day before.
Dan, go.
I know that this is our job, and like we're trying to surmise something where there's no writing to really tell us why Woodcroft did it. But like at the same time, Woodcroft could have just had a conversation with Bouchard that was, do not go down on your belly, and then Bouchard goes down on his belly, so he benches him. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm just saying that there's a certain amount of context here that we kind of forget because we're not watching these guys day in and day out working together. But like, you know, I don't necessarily agree to Rick's point that Nurse is like omnipotent to any kind of criticism, but I do think that relationship...
You can't give the same type of...
I think it's just that relationship between the coach and the players, and he knows who he's willing or who he's able to bench to send the right message to. And maybe he sends it to Nurse, and it isn't received the same way. So I don't know. Like he's still our head coach.
That could have been Dave Manson's choice too, 100%. As opposed to
Woodcroft, could have been.
I think one thing that has bothered me a few times is sometimes the players that come on off the bench are weird. Like the New Jersey one's a big one. Like after they score, like it was like
you'll have a really good shift, and then it goes to the fourth line or something.
Yeah, stuff like that, and also the response to younger players also performing well. Like Holloway was rewarded a little bit yesterday by playing in the last minute or whatever of the game as the extra man, right? And he had a really good game, but it also bugs the shit out of me how only last week Evan Bouchard was scoring the game winner for the Oilers and like scoring 2 goals against the Rangers when Holloway was also on the ice for all 3, and neither of them were really rewarded for it. And now here we are so many games later. Like I feel like I understand the idea of like you not wanting to piss off your superstars and stuff like that, but also I'm not saying bench Draisaitl by any means, and maybe there is the conversation like Dan said, but also like what does it really show to the rest of the team?
That's what I was wondering.
You're just going to bench Bouchard after the mistake when 3 other veterans are the reason why 3 goals went in the net.
That's
kind of
what I'm
my
wondering
thing too. Is like
that's
it's not
the
fair.
great
The
point.
response is not good. And for a coach like Jay Woodcroft, who has been the assistant coach in the NHL for a long time, he's not like a rookie to the league, and also was a coach in Bakersfield and had a lot of success with young players, with these same young players. It's not the right message to send to bench him like that. Like, get him back out there almost and be like, okay, go do show us what you can do, like make up for your mistake. And I don't think the goal was his fault.
Or like,
I just think that
or there could be
I
like a
think that
balance.
that's.
Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
I was just going to say, I think that Liam, you made a great point, and I think that just going a step further, you've got all of us defending Bouchard on this podcast. Well, all the guys that were watching Evan get benched, they know that they weren't having a great game and that they could have just as easily been benched. And so I would at least hope that Woodcroft is hoping that it's going to inspire these veteran guys to figure their shit out and play better in place of Bouchard, because then going back to what Rick said, benching a veteran guy sends a different message.
Maybe it's even like a confidence thing too. And doing it to Bouchard isn't a good thing. Like, he's been struggling all season.
Yeah,
He's finally in a bit of
fair
a
too.
groove
Also,
as well.
like, as much as you maybe want to teach a lesson to Bouchard, you do also need to win the game. And Evan Bouchard's the defenseman that gives you the best chance of tying that game up. Not having to roll Philip Broberg out on his offside for 2 or 3 shifts. Like, what?
The length of the benching is, I didn't have a problem with him parking him for a couple of shifts.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either.
See, but like, I also would have parked Leon for a shift.
Shorty for the period.
Yeah.
Didn't
I would have
we-
thrown Connor out there with, I would have been like, you're playing a shift with Costin and Yamamoto. Go.
It's just, and it's
this
not
with
benching
Ness.
Leon. It's nothing like that. It's just parking him like, hey, man. And then it just kind of like evens out the accountability.